Frankie, I got you some pepperoni. You get some for being such a brave doggy in the storm. Frankie, that storm came in quick. Yeah, I know. I know, you're so brave. You're not even scared of the lightning. Here you go. Or the thunder. Here's a pepperoni. Good boy. Oh, yes. Oh, they smell really good. So I have this really bad habit of just getting out of my van without ever looking outside to see what's there. But for some reason, on this night, I decided I should check outside before getting out of my van. And I'm so glad I did, because when I looked through the front windshield, this is what I saw. This is hands down one of my most favorite animal experiences ever. The fox is amongst my favorite animals. I have the fox tattooed on my arm. I had some really nice fox experiences last time I was in the Yukon, and it was among the top animals I wanted to see while I was up here this summer, was to be able to just witness a fox existing. And so the fact that I got out of my van, which my door is really noisy, and it didn't scare this fox off, and it just was like kind of hanging around not far from my van, was such a special moment. They are so cute. I just love everything about them. I wish I could be a fox someday or have a fox friend, but for now, this experience will have to do. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for this time. Frank was sleeping, he didn't notice, and I just got to watch this like cute fox like curl up and get cozy within sight. The next night was a little different because Frank noticed this time when the fox came by. Shut up, Frank. I've just spent the past 5 days camped out at this beautiful open campsite in the tundra overlooking Alaska at the western end of the top of the world highway. But a series of thunderstorms started quite a few fires in the northern region of the Yukon, and unfortunately over the past couple days a lot of smoke rolled in. We've also had a heat wave in the northern Yukon with heat warnings, which is why I was up at this high ground to begin with, to be somewhere a little cooler. But it's supposed to cool off and the smoke was getting a little bad, so tonight I packed up and started driving west towards Dawson City. The road was pretty smoky, but it did ease up a little bit as I moved west. So now I'm parked for the night at the back of this gravel pit where there's actually a pretty decent view despite the smoke. And tomorrow I'll go into Dawson City just for a couple hours before figuring out what to do next, because the plans I had for myself just aren't really going to be possible because there was an evacuation warning due to wildfires. Along a 25-kilometer stretch of the road I would have to take to go into the area I wanted to do some hiking in. So I just feel like it's better to leave that area till later in the seasons when the fires stop and the smoke goes away and it cools off a bit. So I have 6 days now until I need to be in Whitehorse for Frank, who's just behind me there, to go to the vet for a checkup. So I don't know what I'm going to get up to. Yeah, I'm just going to leave Dawson tomorrow and figure that out as I go, and I'm going to bring you along, and I'm just making this up as I go. I don't know what I'm doing. So I just know I don't want to get back to Whitehorse sooner than I need to. So I guess I have 6 days to get there, and yeah, try to keep Frank comfortable and try not to be in tons of smoke, and we'll just see. We'll see what we can do, see what we can make of it. But right now, it is like 10:30, and it's just kind of getting into like sunset time, and I don't feel like being outside. He's so cute. He's so precious. You want your bedtime treats? You want your bedtime treats? And this is my dinner making station. The water boiling, olives. This one is black beans and TVP and carrot powder with curry seasoning, I guess. Yeah, it'll be good. Alright, real quick, I want to take a moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Element Electrolyte Drink Mix, who I am so happy to be working with once again, because I am somebody who doesn't drink enough water if it doesn't have flavor or bubbles or some things. So adding the electrolyte mix to my water helps me to not only drink enough, but also to replenish the electrolytes lost through perspiration, whether it's from the heat or from hiking up mountains or other things like that. And that's really important because the electrolytes you lose through sweat play vital roles in the body, such as helping to prevent fatigue and prevent muscle cramps, prevent headaches, and also play vital roles in terms of like hormone balancing and metabolism and things like that. So it's really important to replenish them when you sweat, which is just like a normal part of life. So it's great that Element has this science-backed blend of electrolytes and none of this other stuff you don't really need. What it does have is a very tasty flavor. I've been drinking electrolytes for 6 or 7 years now, and Element is by far the tastiest one, with good old staples like citrus salt or raspberry salt, as well as the brand new grapefruit salt, which is so good. But there's also an unflavored version if you don't want to have flavors in your electrolyte mix. Or if you're looking for more unique flavors, there is lemon habanero, mango chili, and chocolate salt. Element has a no risk money back guarantee, so if you give it a try and you don't like it, they will refund you with no hassle, and you don't even have to send the product back. But to make it better, I have a deal for you, which is if you go to drinklmnt.com/TIDELINETOALPINE and buy a box of whatever flavor piques your interest, you will also get a sample pack with all 8 flavors aside from the new grapefruit to try and see which one you might like next. So once again, that is drinklmnt.com/TIDELINETOALPINE, and the link will also be in the description, like below the video in that box there. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I love working with Element, and I even more so enjoy drinking it. But with that said, let's get back to the video. So it's been a few days since I left you on the top of the world highway. We got up early before noon the next morning, and we drove down the hill and took the ferry into Dawson. And in Dawson, we just had like a nice afternoon. I got some iced coffee and a very tasty falafel wrap, and then spent some time with a couple patrons before starting south towards Whitehorse. And I was feeling rather indecisive that day, so I stopped at this lake that was pretty nice, but there was no access for Frank to swim easily. So I decided to continue on to the next lake, which ended up having better access. But then I noticed all these leeches, and I didn't want to camp there. It was also like right inside of the highway and pretty noisy, so I went back to the first lake we had stopped at because it was off the highway and it was really pretty and it was quiet. So we spent a couple days there and it was really nice, just like this nice idyllic place with a bunch of birds. There was this really annoying squirrel that woke me up in the morning, but it was a great place to spend a couple days and the trees provided a bit of shade for the heat. And in the vein of being indecisive, let me tell you about the dinner I made. Alright, so I have made dinner and it is something that would make anyone who thinks the carnivore diet is a good idea completely cringe, because instead of choosing between fried potatoes and bannock, I decided to combine the two. So I cut up potatoes small and I fried them, and then I made like a runny dough that's like somewhere between bannock and pancakes and mixed them together and made this. They're hefty cakes. So yeah, the chunky potato bannock ended up being really good. I might make it again. It was a little time consuming, but it was definitely tasty. And then today we left that lake and we continued south. I didn't really have much of a plan. I just really wanted to be somewhere that Frank could swim, and I was just cruising along and I saw a sign for a territorial park campground, Ethel Lake, and there happened to be phone service, so I turned around, went back to the pullout for the lake, looked it up. It looked nice. It looked like a big lake, and it said it was linear camping, which meant there wouldn't be like people camping between me and the lake, so I thought that would be probably easily accessible for Frank. And it was a 24-kilometer narrow windy dirt road to get here, and the boat launch is slated for repairs during this weekend, so I figured there's a good chance we could get a site. So we drove the narrow windy road through an old burn, which was quite pretty, and we ended up here at this lake, which is so nice. So we're actually going to spend all of the next 2 days here so that we can swim and paddle. So yeah, I think the next 2 days are going to be just perfect. And I'm really looking forward to both of us having just some fun summer lake time, because we really haven't done that since we left BC. You're drying your feet off, Frank. As if they're not going to just get wet immediately. You're so cute. Alright, well, we are on our way. I don't know where we're going. We're just going away from the boat ramp building. It is very noisy, and the way lakes are, you can't really escape noise on a lake, but yeah, it's nice to get out for an adventure. Frank is stoked. He was just, as I was getting ready, he was just crying at me with anticipation, which honestly is kind of annoying because he's not helping me get ready, but we're out now. So he was pretty happy to get on the board and yeah, just enjoy the views. Are you having a good time, bud? Yeah. We got to the burn. So there's the forest. And this is an old burn. I don't know, a couple years old. Not last year, definitely older than last season, but still pretty fresh. Lots of fireweed, just on its way out. Hey Frank, you want to go to this beach up ahead and go for a swim? You want to go swimming? Yeah. Nice, bud. my turn to cool off. I'm gonna give my hair a rinse. Scalp's getting a little itchy. It's been more than a week now since I showered. Oh, at least 10 days actually. We're continuing. We'll find somewhere else to swim, and if we don't, we'll stop there on the way back. Sound good? You can go swim. It's just full of plants. Go ahead. You're so weird. Oh, I love you, bud. Should we get out of the plants? Are they upsetting you? That's okay. We'll go. We'll go where the water's clearer. Big one, Frank. All right, so we are making our way back, but real slow. I just paddle a couple times and then drift. The the lake is super flat, and they've done working, I think, for today, so it's quiet. But yeah, after Frank finished yelling at the log, he had a drink, he got on the board, and now we're just kind of like paddle drifting back. And I saw a really cool fish. I've never seen a fish like that before in real life. It was like maybe 18 to 20 inches. I think it was a pike. I'm going to put on the screen if I'm correct or not. But I think it was a pike. It had like cool rings, spotty rings. And it just, yeah, it had a pike-like look. Anyways, it was really cool. It was like right below the board. I noticed it as it moved away. So yeah, just going to enjoy a slow cruise back to camp and hopefully see some more fish. Alright, so I'm going to make pasta stoop tonight, and I'm going to try to make it over the fire, and I'm going to do kind of like a Southwest style. So I got black beans, and I got fire roasted diced green chilies, orange pepper, shallots. I picked this up in Dawson. This is from my initial provisioning. I got pasta, and then I'm going to bring out a bunch of spices later. So it's a little hot over the fire to do the seasoning, so I brought it here and do salt. Lots of chili flakes. Cumin, black pepper, and coriander. I feel like coriander and cumin are they're just like little buddies. Okay, and then I'm gonna also, while I'm here, add the tomatoes. Put that back on the fire. I'm just gonna add the beans now also, and then just let it like chill over the fire while the fire is low, and then I'll like kick it up to put in some water, bring it to a boil, add the pasta. I guess dinner is gonna be smoked. Tired? You look tired. We had a nice big day on the lake, Frank. Look at these. Look at these precious little paws. So what I do with this is I just take it off while the pasta is good and al dente, and then I let it sit for a bit and cool down, and then it should be just about perfect. I don't cook over the fire a lot in a pot. Usually when I cook over the fire, I use a stick or foil or my cast iron right on the coals. I rarely cook over the grill with flame. But yeah, just the wood is included with the camping here, so I figure might as well. It gives us something to do. I like fire, and yeah, I think it's gonna go really well with those chilies, and yeah, be a tasty dinner and breakfast, because this is a lot of food. So I'll get to have a good brunch before heading out on the water tomorrow. Okay, Frank, you've been a very good, very patient boy, but it's time now to go paddling. All right, bud. Yeah. Good boy. There you go. Yep, we'll swim soon. Just gotta make sure we don't lose our way home. Okay, and then we got a bush. I think we can reach. Well, I wish I'd brought a book. I just didn't think. I don't think to bring books out on the water, but that would be pretty nice right about now. Oh, yes. We have raspberries. just a few. Well, they're not quite ripe. They're a little dry. But I'm not going to turn them down. Let's see what else we got. Alright, so we are making our way back, and it's been hot and dry for a while, and there's been thunder and lightning the last couple days, and that there is a new fire, like today. Smoke pouring over, just starting to pour over into the lake valley. So yeah, definitely feels good that I have Starlink. Everything I drove through like burned a couple years ago. It definitely can burn again. There is still fuel there. That is a misconception, that if it's already burned it can't burn again, but there's always fuel left. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna head back and see what we can find out about that, and see if we need to maybe leave today. Alright, so just as I got back, a helicopter flew overhead to go check on the fire, and then the neighbors were packing up. So the woman came over and talked to me, and I guess the ranger had been in here, and when he left, he decided that the smoke was possibly something to be concerned about, so he came back, and that's when he called the helicopter and just like warned everyone. So the neighbors left, but everyone else just seems to be chilling. So I'm actually going to just like pack up, like put the board away, put the solar panel away, and just like be ready to go if I need to, but otherwise I'm just gonna chill. I've just decimated the leftover pasta stew because I was so hungry. So yeah, there is like the campground, and there's like a whole bunch of cabins. There's probably like 50 to 100 people out in this area total right now. So yeah, people are aware we're here, and if it's serious, we'll be properly warned. They'll like send a helicopter or the ranger or something anyway. So yeah, I'm just gonna be ready just for caution, like to be cautious. All right, so update: the ranger came in and he spoke to everyone but me. So I guess things are fine. I heard him talking to like somebody at the cabins over there, and it sounded like everything was good. So I don't know. I guess nothing to worry about, but I still hear like rolling thunder all around. So yeah, Frank and I are fed, and I'm gonna keep just slowly packing things up, but no rush. And yeah, hopefully everything's fine. So I don't know. It is good to see though, like, you know, that fire started in the last few hours, and like to see the response and the communication. So I just assume he didn't speak to me because he hadn't spoke to me earlier, and that there was no point, since in his mind I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But I'm sure it's being monitored wherever the fires are, and I trust that if there's actually any danger to us, or that we need to get out while we can, then we'll be informed. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice evening, and now I don't have neighbors to listen to. Alright, well, considering I didn't have a plan, I was just winging the week, it worked out really well. I got a lot of work done, I got a lot of rest. Frank and I had fun at the lake, so that was a huge success. So was his vet appointment. There was nothing to worry about. If you missed the update, it was in Frank's birthday episode, celebrating a milestone. So it's really cute. You should check that one out. But with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched all the way to the end, which means you're seeing this. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, then you maybe consider subscribing, because it does help me out. And yeah, a huge thank you to patrons. You guys are so awesome. And I got a cute clip of Frank to send you guys off, and we'll see you soon.